Live from 2 News. This is Talkin' Real, powered by Strong Auto Group.
Welcome into Talkin' Real. We are here every Thursday night. I'm David James along with Brian Dunseth. And Dunny, the changes are complete. Well, I think they're complete. Deloy Hansen is going to have his own team running his team. First, Coach Jason Kreis left, then General Manager Garth Lagerwey, now President Bill Manning. And what do they have in common? They were all Dave Checkett hires. Now Deloy will have his own people running RSL. What's the impact of that?
Well, listen, that's to be determined. Everyone knows the success that Jason, Garth, and Bill did have, RSL version 1 to RSL version 2. Big picture now, what does RSL version 3 look like? Jeff Cassar, Craig Weibel, and now kind of leadership by committee. It seems cordial if you look at the quotes to Chris Camrani in the Salt Lake Trib from Bill Manning and listening to Deloy Hansen the other day. The question is, behind the scenes, is there something malicious going on? I'm not sure. I'm not part of the business side. Listen, on the field, how much does this affect Real Salt Lake? Not a lot. I think it affords Craig Weibel a little bit more of an opportunity to spread his wings, dial into that technical director, general manager's role, focusing on the players, focusing on the product on the field. Off the field, business-wise, how does this affect Real Salt Lake, knowing that the relationship's built over 8 years by the president of this club? Listen, in the big scheme of things, everyone can talk about what the effect is. I don't think any of us truly know what the effect is. But for RSL fans, the biggest focus should be the product on the field. And obviously, this year hasn't been ideal. Is what it is. This is where we start to move forward. 5
games in 15 days definitely caught up with RSL. They dominated Portland for the first 30 minutes, played the Timbers even for the next 40, and then defended for the final 25 minutes as Portland attacked in waves. We could see RSL wearing down.
Well, we could, and listen, what it really comes down to is what we talked about for the first 30 minutes of that match. Creating great goal-scoring opportunities, you gotta put your chances away, and if you don't, sometimes you end up getting punished in the dying moments.
They created plenty of early chances. Take a look at him. We'll pick it up in the 15th minute. Tony Beltran with the service.
Well, combination play, top of the box. Quaresay comes off his line. Luke Mulholland looks for Audentis Garcia as he uncorks his hips. Unfortunately, facing the wrong way. Luis Silva, deft little touch for Audentis. Can't pass that ball into an empty net.
27th minute, another opportunity. DeMar Phillips. Audentis Garcia tries to turn, taken down. Ref says play on. Phillips, Sebastian Jaime.
Well, the referee plays advantage, rightly so. DeMar continues his run, gets in the box, looks to pick out Sebastian Jaime. I'm still not sure how you miss from that angle, and it ends up as a goal kick.
31st minute, ball played in, then out of the mixer. Mulholland, laser. Looked like it was going in.
He tags this ball. He does uncork the hips. He gets all of that, what, 5'4.5" power, 135 pounds. And Quaresay, that is an unbelievable save. For me, that's probably one of the Save of the Year nominees. That is just an unbelievable art of athleticism from the goalkeeper.
Could have been goal of the week. Should be Save of the week, right? 71st minute, Timbers on a counterattack. Max Arudi to Diego Valeri, and Nick Raimondo coming up big.
Well, you can't get caught on the wrong side, and Jamison Olave at that point really struggling with his fitness. First game since, what is it, 2 months ago, June 6th or so. Diego Valeri opens up, tries to hip flexor that ball past Nick Raimondo. Incredible cat-like reflexes.
86th minute, Timbers with a corner. They're really controlling the match at this point. Nat Borchers, and it's saved off the line.
Yeah, Bofo Saucedo comes off the bench, right place, right time, and really telling, foreshadowing situation for Real Salt Lake defensively. Sebastian Jaime, the player responsible for Nat Borchers.
Stoppage time, just seconds left, and the former RSL star Nat Borchers claiming all 3 points for the Timbers.
A lot of respect for Nat Borchers, not only for what he did for this organization, being one of the foundations, the building blocks of this club, but also for the fact, pure and simple, didn't celebrate. You could tell it was an emotional situation for Nat, part of the fabric of this club for a long, long time. What a great goal, and again, Sebastian Jaime, just poor individual defending for this club throughout the course of the 2015 season.
So now the Galaxy lead the Western Conference. They look in form. They're doing just fine in Champions League, thank you very much. Vancouver has a game in hand. They're just 1 point back in the West. Sporting Kansas City third. Seattle has the 6th and final playoff berth. RSL is now 9th, 6 points behind Seattle. San Jose is 7th after a 5-0 win in Kansas City. How surprising was that?
They got absolutely tagged. Chris Wondolowski and company. Who would have thought that the San Jose Earthquakes would be able to go into Sporting Park and walk out with a 5-0 win? That is a fantastic result for Dominic Kinnear and company, and puts even more pressure on Real Salt Lake as they fight for that final spot in the playoffs.
Houston, San Jose, RSL all chasing Seattle. RSL has the Sounders coming in Saturday, and most importantly, after a couple of midweek matches and 5 matches in 15 days, they finally have a full week to prepare.
Every game from here on out is the biggest game of the year. So, you know, this one just happens to be against Seattle, who chances are, you know, we're going to be competing for that final playoff spot. So obviously it's pivotal. If we get a win, then we're in a good position to make a run at them. If not, then then the gap gets a little bigger. So yeah, absolutely, it's a huge game.
They've got to come here, and I feel like we're very hungry right now to get the 3 points. They just got the 3 points, so I think our hunger will stride us to victory this weekend.
I think that you see they're a complete different team with Obafemi in it. You know, his movement off the ball really throws some teams off, and then you know, they have some other new additions to their team with Valdez and Torres in the back, and I think he's going to really help them out a lot. He's been a player that we've watched for a long time as well. But with that being said, I think there's still a lot of areas that we can possibly get at them, and again, it's a game at home.
Several reasons why RSL trails Seattle by 6 points going into this one, but RSL's inability to beat Orlando City at home despite having a man advantage the entire second half has got to be a factor. RSL took 1 point out of that. Dealt a similar hand, the Sounders, after a red card to Orlando City, went up. Well, now, they were up 1-0, not 1-1.
Yeah, and I would remind you, losing Kaká, a number 10, is much different than losing a right back defensively. Changes the entire structure and shape the way you defend. For me, when I look at what Seattle has done, and again, Garth Lagerwey has strengthened that team by bringing in 4 players, the spine of his team. The captain from Panama, Roman Torres, who's an absolute beast. Think Jamison Olave, probably about 6 years younger. It's going to sound like I'm cursing. I'm not cursing. His name is Ivan Schütz. He's a defender. When he comes in, he's going to make that team even better. Eric Freiberg comes back from Sweden. A kid named Valdez up top, a Paraguayan striker. He's got transition and experience, strength through the spine of his team, and he's made his team better. But what Jeff Cassar said and what the guys were talking about was one player in particular, and that's Obafemi Martins. And when you talk about Obafemi Martins, I'm going to show you the way he breaks down the defense. It's really fascinating to watch Obafemi, and as you'll see him, the number 9, watch the way he kind of drifts back into the midfield, and when he does recover the possession, how quickly he looks to combine going forward. It's so fast, all left foot, speed, strength, athleticism, combination play, the way he surges forward inside the box, one of the best in Major League Soccer. But also, when the play you think has died offensively, it doesn't mean it has, and that's why Seattle this year has been so incredibly dangerous. Watch the way Obafemi Martins turns at full speed, goes 1 versus 2. When that ball comes out, watch him float, 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 and then react. Watch how quick he breaks into the attack. It's a silky little finish, very smooth, but very, very dangerous. So when you look at this back line, it's really about Chad Marshall and Roman Torres. Size, strength, the ability to deal with any aerial ball in the attack. Andy Rose will want to come inside. Lamar Nagel's going to push a little bit farther. Obafemi Martins is going to pop up wherever in the world he wants. Look for Valdez. He'll play a little bit more of a point striker. He'll have a lot of freedom to be anywhere he wants at the front of the attack, but Obafemi will look to drop back and combine. Well, what about Real Salt Lake? Real Salt Lake is probably the healthiest they've been all season. Damar Phillips, Aaron Mon, Jamison Olave, he'll get another start alongside that back four. Tony Beltran on the right. Mohol and Beckerman sit. Javier Morales will pull the strings. Plato look to get up and down on that left-hand side. Look for Silva to tuck in. At times, it'll look like a 4-3-3. At other times, it'll look like a 4-4-2 with a diamond. And then Sebastian Jaime up top. Good news for Real Salt Lake fans. Also, the addition of El Burrito got his paperwork done, got his ITC, so he will be in Salt Lake City. He will be available. The question is, will Jeff Cassar have him selected for this match? fitness, sharpness, understanding of his teammates could all be a factor in whether we see him on the field at Rio Tinto Stadium.
All right, let's get to it. RSL needs the full 3 points Saturday against Seattle. How do they get them? Here are the Masters Electrical keys to the game.
Well, it's all about mash unit. And minus Chris Schuler, this is the healthiest that Real Salt Lake has been all season long. The second one for me, Mortal Kombat. You got to finish him, or at least finish your chances. And RSL first half against Portland, 10 shots created, yet they went into the halftime break 0-0. Just not good enough, especially against a team like Seattle right now. Offensively, cause a lot of problems. And then number 3, what about our guy Luke Mulholland? Risk it for the biscuit. It's a must-win situation. I've hesitated on using must-win all season long. DJ, I'm gonna throw it out there. It's a must-win. You're running out of opportunities. You're running out of matches. You're running out of the ability to catch the teams above you in the Western Conference. You're
6 points back at Seattle, and it's a 6-point swing right here.
Yep.
Can't come out of it 9 down. RSL and the Sounders play Saturday night at Rio Tinto Stadium. Coverage starts at 7:30 here on KMYU. Now, RSL's newest player, Juan Manuel Martinez, El Burrito, will arrive tomorrow. At training earlier this week, Coach Jeff Cassar was asked if the Burrito might play against the Sounders.
He should be here by Thursday or Friday. Everything's moving forward on it. I think he's getting all of his paperwork done today and tomorrow, and should be on a plane really soon.
Still too soon to say whether or not he could be available?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what kind of shape he's in. But again, yeah, I mean, if he's flying from Argentina and hasn't even practiced with the guys, but you never know.
Okay.
Leaving it open with You Never Know. Be at the Delta Terminal tomorrow at 10:15 if you want to welcome RSL's newest player to town. Dunny, would you give him 10 or 15 minutes late in the match, or just wait for the trip to Dallas?
Obviously, you've got to allow the game to give you what the moves potentially you make. But the bottom line, you paid a lot of money for this young man. Got to get him on the field as soon as possible.
You're leaving it open, just like the coach.
You got to get
it open.
No, I'm saying you got to get him on the field. You have to get him on the field as soon as possible. He's an impact player. You paid big money for him.
Remember, you can follow Dunny on Twitter and Instagram at Brian Dunseth, and on Facebook at Brian Dunseth1. I'm on Twitter and Facebook at David DJ James. Thanks for joining us tonight. We will see you Saturday at Rio Tinto Stadium. Dave Fox has more Talkin' Sports in just a minute.